Oh, yeah.
Either I did. She or I just put one.
I put their phone.
But all right, let's call our meeting to order. 6 o'clock. Jody, can you lead us with a
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
you? Welcome everybody out in the crowd. All right, start off with roll call. Yeah, just when you're gonna drink.
I know. Miller,
Here.
Craig,
Here.
Frank, here. Dedek,
Here.
Ennis,
Here.
Leonard,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes. All right, any public comments?
We would like to speak on issue number 5, but we could.
Yeah, you're on the agenda, so.
Okay,
I can't limit you to 3 minutes. All right, March minutes, the bills and the city council documentations for consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent
In a
agenda.
second, or any discussion? All in favor for consent? That is moved. Anybody opposed? No. Okay, number 2, motion to approve the public hearing for the rental property ordinances.
I'll make
Open public hearing.
Sorry, open public hearing.
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Or any discussion? No. All right, public hearing is open. Is there any comments for the public for this hearing?
Mike, Robert Culpepper, questions on just where we're going with this ordinance, how deep, how far, time wise. We're talking about rental properties that have people met in them. And occupied. And what's happening, what's gonna happen to these people in the houses? What if your house doesn't meet the inspection that you're talking about, which I have no idea what it is. But what is the landlord supposed to do with their tenants? If they're said they can't live there or the work can't be done when they're living there. So what are we opening up? I mean, we got very few rental properties, and my first comment was actually my father's, just sell them.
Right.
Get rid of them. And that's a consideration, but I wanna know how deep we're stepping into things. I have set where you're at. I know the information. I was dealt with it 20 years ago when I was in office. It was something I stayed away from because we have several buildings around here that are inhabitable. And they have sat here for 50 years and nothing's been done. Now we're gonna come into the landlords. If it's just a basic inspection that is safe to live in, stuff like that, I understand, but you're listing national codes and all this other stuff. Do you really know what you're stepping into?
Well, I
That's
mean,
my only question. And how far and when and how long is this time table gonna take before, I have 7 rental places. So each one's gotta be inspected. So each family has to make arrangements for that, to have somebody in their house, which I understand all this. But the whole point is just how deep have you went into the contemplation of what you're doing? Especially at this time of the year, with what's going on. I mean, there is no ceasefire. I mean, for 10 days, it just happened. We're at war. And we're looking at inflicting on people extra costs that may not be necessary just to bring it up to date. And that's fine. But how deep are we going? Are we going through the electrical system? Are we gonna go through all the sewers? What are we doing? Because we don't do it to private owners is my whole point.
right.
And that's what I've got to say about it. I mean, with 7 units here and there's others that are bigger. And I don't see anybody at this time, but they may speak up. They may feel different to me, that's fine. But we've been renting houses in this town for over 40 years. And never had a complaint about anything, never had a fire, never had anything, but the question comes in, is how deep are we going? And I agree from what I heard in your finance committee. We're working against our own ordinances. We've approved because somebody changed their parking up in the front of the street instead of paving the parking lot for that many apartments. That's ordinance. There's just, I agree, there's things that's going backwards instead of forward. And I think when you're talking about 120 down there, I mean, that was the whole point of selling that postage stamp of the property down there at Clinton Street, was so the city could use it for school buses and stuff. Now, if you don't want it, just remember, I have private property that you can't shut me off from it. Because my drive and property line comes up to the railroad bed there. So if you do block it, you have to leave that side of the railroad open for me to get in there. I got 15.5 acres back there I have to be able to access to. The road I got there is just a road.
Right.
City didn't want nothing to do with it, so it's just a road. So that's all I got to say, but I would like some answers on all that stuff.
Okay.
Is a copy of this available for anybody that wants it? Has it been made available
Yeah.
or not yet because it's just a draft or?
No, it's the actual, what we're gonna, that's what we're amending, or that's what we're approving tonight. That's why.
Have you seen a copy of this, Mike?
No, I just found out about the meeting 3 days ago, or 4 days ago, Friday, I think, was I talked to Kevin.
I think he's gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. Out there.
I mean, first, I hate not to stand up as far as answer, but first thing I had to tell all of my renters. Hey, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if you're gonna have a place to live. But I can't tell you a thing until they tell. No one's telling me nothing.
This came to be through planning
Where it originated, yeah.
and has been worked on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that. But it was brought up about 20 years ago and we just sidestepped it because it just wasn't that. The rentals, and most people take care of them. Not everybody, I understand that.
Mhm.
But most people take care of their rentals. I mean, every one of mine's up and down the Grand River. I own half the houses are on the west side of town.
You know, public hearing is just for the actual ordinance. Would be to put it into place. Everything from, and what he's asking is, will come after. Because we have to do the ordinance first, and then we decide what we're gonna actually, how deep we're gonna go into it.
And then we make the rules.
Yeah.
After the ordinance is
Yes.
enacted.
So the public hearing today is to approve this draft.
Draft.
And then we sit down and figure out all the details and what we're actually gonna do. And what the inspection is gonna look like, and we don't know what the price is yet, what we're, they have talked a little bit about the price being, the city's not gonna make money on it. It's gonna be basically whatever, our inspector charges is what.
The new inspector is the one that's gonna,
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. He's not cracking a smile either.
I see it in there, I know. With his eyes.
Oh, my house.
Oh, yeah, all the nitty gritty is not, but if we can't pass the ordinance, then there's no point going past, going into anything else.
I mean, without getting too in depth in it, Mike, you're asking how deep are we gonna go? And, inspector's gonna have to speak a little bit too, but the whole idea was to make sure everybody's in a safe house. That's the idea. I don't anticipate, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not gonna rip out walls and inspect electrical stuff, are you?
No, I can get into that a little bit. if you like, when you like.
Okay.
But there's the property maintenance code would be what you base that on.
Right.
And so directly to answer your question, if something is legally existing, not just existing, but was inspected and approved when created or even built before creation of the codes or what have you, then generally these programs don't require updates to the most recent code. With a couple of exceptions like carbon monoxide detectors, smoke detectors, things like that you've probably already done. Out of concern. And
Well, and
compassion
that's
for your
kind of where my questions were, is, smoke detectors, safety rails, rotted boards on a deck, if that's the kind of things that, I don't have any issues with that, but, people go in and they start saying, and I have no offense, but they start saying, that ain't up to code, you're gonna have to fix that, and it's worth 100 years like that. And I understand the code, but it's pre-existing. It's also, in some cases, homes are grandfathered in on this clause. Because they're pre-existing so long that they're grandfathered in, doesn't exempt them from registering.
Right.
And they continue to have to register, but they're exempted from inspections, but they do have to maintain the building code of maintenance of the house. So, and I understand the smoke detectors. My big question is, you go in and put them in, you inspect it, and 15 minutes after you leave, they're gone. Does it take them down?
Well, it's true that in every case, inspections are a snapshot in time. There's nothing that can change that.
So if I understood you correctly, or maybe I didn't understand you correctly, if a house was built in 1990 and passed code with the county, how does that fall?
If it's legally existing, if it was compliant at the time it was built, then there's nothing that compels you to update it to modern code and working with property maintenance codes. And that's both through the IPMC, which is the International Property Maintenance Code, and the International Existing Building Code. So the paraphrase of that is generally you can't make it worse.
Mhm.
So
Well, I had own, that's.
but legally
50 years old.
existing is a big caveat there, because
Yeah.
if you had let's say, either something approved out of ignorance or by a cavalier inspector or what have you, if it wasn't code at the time it was built, that doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah,
now.
right, I understand that.
And most of the homes here are not all that new. And our state adopted building code only goes back to about 1972, so many of these homes probably predate, the adoption of anything past the 1927 Michigan construction.
I think they have two, rules, and all the rest of them, in past code, and when they were built, and redone. So that's why I wanted to know the depth, where we're going,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's, sorry for not preparing better for this, but, if we're involved with writing it, I tend to, use a practical perspective, if it's there, if it's legal, and not an imminent threat, then it's not a point. And generally, as I said, the only updates that get required outside of that whole conversation is the smokes and CO detectors. The CO detectors were an amendment to the 1972 law in 2006 and fully adopted in 2010. And that rule is named after somebody, and there's only one way to get that privilege, and that's posthumously. So somebody died and the state made new rule. And it's worthwhile, and all money matters, but in the scope of things, with Bluetooth smoke detectors now, you don't necessarily have to hardwire one to the next. Things like that, it's $100 or $2, not thousands of dollars to make your people safe, and I'm sure you already do.
Well, that's why I already just gave you an illustration. They don't take them down. They don't want to listen to them. They don't want to hear them. It's annoying. Just like when yours goes off in your house, if it's electrical, you're over there fanning with a magazine to get it off,
I can tell you probably the most common thing that comes up that maybe was approved but not installed legally at the time is handrail returns. You've got the handrail that doesn't corner into the wall, and it's a snag risk that trips somebody up, and that, again, you're south of Franklin, they handle that, so. Yeah, it sounds like I'll be involved in.
Well, I mean, as far as this council people, my objections is in planning. I know what it takes to go through all this and to get it here, and I have no objections to it. I just want to know where I'm headed with it. And what I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing, I can say right now, let's say. I've decided in my mind I'm gonna sell. Cause I don't wanna go through all this. And so that disperses 7 families out on the street at once, cause I'm gonna sell them all at one time, I'm not gonna do one at a time. And so that's what I'm concerned about, I don't wanna put people out on the street, I mean, if you think I make a lot of money renting, I don't. I'm probably the lowest rent in this town, so, for the houses that people get.
So what, a lot of times for folks that are operate as you describe, it creates a level playing field, so you're spending the money to take care of these people. And somebody down the road is trying to run a slumlord operation,
I agree,
it can actually improve things for you.
I know, I have to do that every day, so.
But yeah, there's a lot of laws to protect you from a guy or a gal that comes in and wants you to update everything. And I tend to be a very commonsensical guy.
You sound like it. and that's just like-
Call it laziness if you want, but the path of least resistance is often the correct path anyway, and that's great for everybody.
So, well, I think you've answered a lot of the questions I had, but I still would definitely like to see that packet when you give it to them. Is there a time frame that
Posted
you're looking
online.
at what you're going to start?
It's posted online right now, you can just download it.
Yeah.
It's in tonight's packet.
Oh, the pamphlet, okay. What is it listed under?
It's
The,
in the meeting, it's in the packet.
Oh, it's in this meeting's packet for council.
they haven't gotten the list of, what your inspection's gonna look like, but the actual draft of the, ordinance is in.
Yeah, I've got the ordinance. I
Oh.
got it on my phone. I got it printed 4 times and I've got all my plans drawn out and I got all my tenants measured rooms.
Yeah,
We'll do it
it,
because they don't want me in their house.
yeah, everything that I
Your house.
dug,
Well, it is my house, but their house when they're paying to live there.
Mhm.
everything I've dug into in other communities and done research on it it's pretty simple. It's not a huge, it's, you do the floor plan once, you do that one time. And then every 3 years, you do the inspection and literally like list down like the, the CO2 thing, making sure that the sockets aren't falling out of the wall, there's railings, there's, things falling
Right.
through the floor, that kind of, it seems very easy going, basically a safe, basic.
Well, and that's what I want. And you had explained you didn't think it was gonna go too far in depth.
Yeah.
For me, being in my position as the caregiver, 24 hours 7. Getting with these tenants, most of this property is my father's, so. I'm taking care of them for him and he lives with me now, so. It's like, I've already had to draw all the floor plans out because I don't wanna get caught with my britches down.
Yeah,
Because
and
I
we
get
did
behind
discuss.
on everything I do, I'm behind, except paying my bill.
Yeah, we just did discuss it's gonna probably take over a year to even get, we're gonna spread it out so that not everything's due every 3 years at the same time, so it'd be spread out like probably over a year or more with the inspections and, not having, like, you're not gonna have all your inspections done at one time, it's gonna be spread out and so, yeah, we have to
Well,
give
some of my
people,
There shouldn't be anything wrong with them.
Right.
Passed them
but just
3 years ago.
having to get people to, be available to, inspect it. And that's gonna take time and we've got to send out the letters and people have to register. It's gonna be a minute.
Okay, well,
Does that answer some of the questions, Mike?
it does.
Okay.
And I got to meet your inspector, which I'll
Joe.
not paying my bill, but at least I know who he is and who I'm dealing. with. And from that, no, yes, and personally, I would say to this council, I would approve it. Excuse me, I gotta go, excuse me, you gotta go take care of my father now,
Yeah.
the Titans are on in 20 minutes. I lose my throat.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, have you guys read through this? Any comments? Well, first we have to have a motion.
Make a motion to close the public
That's
hearing.
okay. That's what we do. I'll second.
Okay, public hearing is hereby closed. Motion to, is that number 4, motion to adopt the rental registration ordinances as recommended by the planning commission.
Make a motion. I'll second.
Any discussion on this one?
Just out of curiosity, the section 1, paragraph 2. Required registration, except as otherwise provided in this section. There are no exceptions in this section, so there are no.
Gives us the ability to amend that if needed to make exceptions.
Okay.
I got some understanding.
It just says that everyone will be required except if it's listed in this section, but there are no exceptions.
Yeah.
Everyone will be required to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's no grandfathering or anything like that.
No,
At the moment, no.
Okay.
I think one that might come up if you're asking is like,
Roommates.
looking glass
Looking Glass.
Yes.
Because they're regulated by the state. anyway.
already, yeah.
So that may be one that we could
Yes.
accept,
Yeah.
but it's optional because they think too, what we could also do in that situation is have them provide us with their yearly inspection,
Mhm.
because I think you guys get inspected yearly. correct?
That's by the state.
So they're gonna be more compliant than anyone, 'cause being done yearly versus every 3 years.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I
think
think
it
that's
does-
why that's in
yeah.
there is because of looking glass. We talked
Mhm.
about that. Like that.
from planning, Greg can speak to this too. This was written in a way that gives the towns the ability to quickly pivot if we find out that this ordinance is becoming a burden on every landlord in town.
Yes.
So we want to be flexible. Really, the plan from the idea of planning commission is put something in place to make sure our rental properties are being kept at a level that is reflective of the maintenance code and that they're safe for the renters. That's really the goal. And that we have a registry of rental properties, so we can kind of have an idea of how many rental properties we have versus single family dwellings.
Any other discussion? Okay. Make a vote on the motion. All in favor of approving the ordinances?
Say aye.
Did we make a motion to approve?
Yeah, yeah, aye.
Oh.
Say aye.
Say aye. please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, ordinance is approved and will be worked. Uh-oh. All right, number 5, discussion of the administrative and regulatory costs of cannabis business location, local routes.
That's where you.
All right.
Hi, I'm John Liskey. Roy's gonna make a comment here. But I wanted to clarify, we're not asking for any decisions tonight. Our renewal's not due till December, so we just wanted to let you know what's going on while we're here, so. Good evening and thank you for your time. I want to start by saying, we truly appreciate the city of Laingsburg. We've always viewed our relationship with the city as more of a partnership. You've always been great partners, kind, professional, easy to work with. So I want to be clear here, I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to share some context on what's going on in our industry today. Right now, we're facing extremely low prices, which has led to lower margins across the board. Over the past several years, prices have steadily declined. And today, average flower prices are around $60 an ounce. That's down from about $500 an ounce when the industry was first getting going 5 years ago. At the same time, a new 24% wholesale tax took effect in January, adding even more pressure to our costs. What we've seen though is that retail prices across the market haven't come up much, despite the significant increase in wholesale costs. We have a data company that we work with to benchmark and check to make sure we're competitive, and for the past few months, it's like, wait, aren't the prices supposed to come up? Our costs went up. Anyways, what we're seeing is that some larger operators, companies with 30 to 40 locations and very deep pockets are able to absorb losses and wait things out. And as a small locally owned business, we don't have that luxury. We really want to remain competitive, you know, everyone's price sensitive now. Costs are through the roof everywhere. And we know having our prices out of line would, you know, negatively impact us. So we've kept our prices low, and we want to, but we want to remain competitive. We want to continue to bring people to town. We want to continue to thrive here. So instead of raising our prices, we've made the decision to take a hard look at our expenses. So we're evaluating every cost and looking for any opportunity to reduce expenses so we can stay competitive and navigate what is frankly a very challenging and uncertain time in our industry. So with that, I just want to thank you again for your consideration, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Roy. You guys are looking at it, this, the first page gives you a breakdown of what the fees are, what local other communities are doing.
We discussed this in finance. I'm looking at this from the eyes of a fellow business. It's good to have our building filled with businesses. I think we've come a long ways in the last 10 years. It's a Davy versus Goliath type of thing that they've kind of fallen into, it appears. They asked for $500 and we're at $3,500 annual now. I think it would be fair and reasonable to pick a number that is prudent for everyone. At least consider it.
How did the 3,500 come about? That was just a number that was chosen?
The original fee was 5,000 when they were brand new. And then they dropped it to a renewal of 3,500. It's pretty much kind of a statewide.
The universal number.
It's between 3,000 and 5,000, but I couldn't find anybody that was lower than 3,000.
And what does a city have to do?
Well, the second part of that is the list that I check off to renew them. They bring in all their paperwork to me. I check off everything that they have to have in there. And then check with all the departments to make sure everybody's doing, you know, they're doing all their stuff. And then I contact the state, let them know everything's good, and then they renew.
And what time do you have into that? I mean, we
Couldn't tell you.
are we talking like days, weeks, or?
No, I mean, no, yeah, it's hours, yeah.
So I think to kind of summarize what we talked about in finance is, we think the fee was largely based on what an average cost would be. For, let's say you were a larger municipality and you had 8 stores. There's probably going to be 4 of them where you may spend a week chasing them around, trying to get all the paperwork in order.
Yeah.
Local route seems to be a very clean operation that has very little issue, so there's not a lot of time to put into it. But if we're to change the ordinance. And they decide to leave and we have a new company come in and they aren't. We want to make sure that we're not setting it at a price that then it is costing the city.
I mean, when I, dug into it, it's that, and then, if there's problems, I mean, we're not facing that kind of thing, but that's how they came up with the fee.
Thank you.
And we also get $55,000 a year from the state as a result of that business being there.
It goes into.
And we've gotten that for how many years now?
Since they've been here. We get it every year that they're.
2020 or 2021?
21, actually, right about. This could be an anniversary today. We opened in early April. For one day in 21, and then
Gosh.
somebody got COVID. Shut down for 2 weeks. Remember that?
Yes.
It was okay.
So it's worth celebrating.
Just remind you guys, we don't have a motion on the floor, we're just
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys.
Well, and this is kind of an open-ended thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a discussion here because I didn't know if people wanted to think about it, because like he said, they're not due till December. So that's why I didn't put a motion for discussion. You got time.
It can come back on.
Yeah,
back
we
on
can
the
always
motion.
table the final decision.
Yep.
I want to make sure, she wants to, and I want to make sure you guys all have the information, let them talk to us and so you guys know what's going on to make
Well,
the
the
proper decision.
tough part in my head is that it's in an ordinance. So now we've got to go through the hoops to change an ordinance.
Which we've got another one coming up. We got 2 more that are, so doing them together. Saves.
You could pile it into all a special hearing for yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like an answer May, June.
What, you 28-day notice or something?
Well, I'm just thinking when the other ordinances are gonna hopefully take effect.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a couple of months maybe. I mean, because we still have to do,
So you still have time.
yes.
well, I'm just thinking,
Because we don't
if
know when
we
the runoff
do decide that this would be a path we want to take, I'd rather not just drop it tonight because it's easier and we can move on.
Right.
I don't want to drop it and forget it.
Well, I can make sure it's on the
Well,
agenda. I mean, we can move it to next month's agenda or 2 months from now. I mean, the rental agreement. Well, probably take a month at least to get that into them and as long as we're doing them all together, it doesn't matter when we do them. It's just.
I'm not really up on Bob's rules. But a motion to
Most of
bring
the
this,
table it.
Table it.
last time I had one of my motions tabled, I never heard of it again.
Hey, you wanna move it to next month
Yeah,
or?
I would like a motion that we bring this thing again.
Yeah.
Next. At the May meeting.
Okay. Need a second on the motion?
Well, second.
Okay, all in favor for tabling this for the next meeting to have more information gathered? Say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, this will be tabled for the next meeting, but that way they can discuss it further. Randy did.
What?
Did you second it?
No, I didn't know.
Jason.
What
Okay.
they said. Are you writing? And I'm like. heard it, but
I didn't know what he was saying I did, because I didn't do anything.
Did you see me eat this guy? All right, so number 5 will be tabled. So. If you
Thank
guys
you.
want to come back next month and talk about it, but we'll get some more information, get everybody up to speed on what it is and stuff, so.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night. Thanks, guys. All
Happy
right,
anniversary.
number 6, building inspector fees. There, Joe. Great.
Fees?
Fees.
Doesn't say fees.
Did I not say fees? Did I not say? Thanks
I
for
have
fees.
fees.
I have fees.
Yeah.
You say please?
At the top, do you?
I vote.
Oh, because you're in something.
What's this say?
That's the agenda. You gotta get to the.
Well, the numbers
packet,
aren't
right.
super
Right.
critical
Right,
right
right,
this
right.
second, but you folks employed us for 90 days while we looked at some stuff, and that'll come up next month, so I wanted to touch base with you.
Okay.
We did compare fees to local communities, offered our suggestions on this. There are line items on all these trade permits that we're talking about in here. And we can really get down into those weeds if you want. But basically, when we compare communities, we look at cost of first inspection, cost of second inspection. Because the line items, if you're just doing a water heater or whatever, that's a $15 difference or whatever the number is in the community. It's that first and second inspection that really drive the permit cost. Particularly on the most common permits, water heater replacements, furnace replacements, maybe a new generator, whatever. So we, not surprisingly, found we were quite a bit less with the old fee structure than the localities. Not as bad as some, not as bad as Shiawassee County, and when I say bad, I guess I mean we're less user-friendly than Shiawassee County, but it's not very inspirational if you're trying to employ somebody to do your inspections.
Sorry.
So it's the fee study, if we go a little bit further west and get into Lansing and some of the other townships, it's about $120 for the first inspection with a base fee and one inspection. About $200 for two inspections, you know, rough and a final or whatever. Which is a model I think everyone's moving towards. And I probably should have pulled up Windsor Township, which is owned by Preston, as well as the Shiawassee County Building Department. They're quite a bit higher than you're seeing there, so I expect that to go up anyway, but it did drop the curve a little bit. But either way, if we look at that $100, $200 number, you're still pretty close. It's in one case, less than 10% higher than the mean. And that's only until Shiawassee ups their rates, which I can guarantee is coming. So that was one thing I wanted you to look at. It's important that we have resources if you want to attract talent. You already know you're paying. You were paying more than you were getting for the inspections for inspectors. So you already know kind of what it takes to get the talent. As far as building permit fees, you're a little bit low on that too. Some of those are kind of a squirrel to sort out of communities, but very transparently, I don't want to say percent, $7.20 on 1,000, so it's 0.7201% or something. Is what Clinton County charges. With Township next door is $8 on 1,000 for the first million, and then it drops to 6, and right now you're at 5. And the other problem with some of these rates is that it again doesn't reflect permit costs, or inspection costs. So if we have if you redo your deck for 10 grand and I get a $50 for the first 1,000 and then another $5 on 1,000, that's $95, and I got to send the guy twice. We're not getting it done for that kind of money. So we recommend a minimum per inspection on the building fees of $100 per inspection. We recommend if you want to go with our company, it'll be 7% after the minimums are met per 1,000, which is less than both DeWitt and Clinton County. Shiawassee, I couldn't really ferret out their number, and I didn't hear back. I'm supposed to call Pete today. It's lower than some of the surrounding communities, so it's justifiable to your constituents. I put links on that final page in case you want to verify that the numbers that I put before you, that I didn't pull them out of my hat. It should take you in most cases right to that, but so we have a proposal for the trade fees. We have a proposal for the building official building inspector fees. All right, with that, we suggest you just let us take it all, put it onto our BSNA cloud-based. There's a very modest annual subscription for that. But your community would then be able to apply for permits online. There'd be full transparency, plus you'll have access. If you need to do a FOIA, you can just punch right in, do a search. We have our guy Phil, who you already know from zoning. Come by and set you up with all the searches you want. And it makes it pretty easily. Perhaps your assessor wants searches too, to look for new pools, new decks, or whatever, you know, if the community wants to. So we set you up in pretty good stead. The only caveat to us putting you on this cloud-based BSNA is if you leave us, then you don't lose that per se, but somebody's still got to pay the subscription. And you could get your own cloud-based BSNA and just move it to you. You know, you could continue to pay us with an administration fee, or you could see it, BSNA would let you move this in limbo, but I think it has to be, it has to have a home base.
We have, yes, that,
Not cloud.
Yeah, but we don't have the cloud and we don't have building.
Yeah, we don't have building in the RBSA that we have.
So we have lots of different things that you buy.
so that'd be an additional piece that you would subscribe to. And
He already has
But
it.
here.
BSNA is, aren't they a local
Yes.
company?
They're
Sort of?
Rooted out of Bath, yeah.
Okay,
But they've been around for 3 decades now. I was on Gen 1. In fact, when I bought municipal inspections, I still have Gen 1 for that. Which is why we're trying to break past. But one of the things we found is, for instance, I couldn't update my Gen 1. You know, instead you call BSNA and they wouldn't let you add building now without going to the
To the
cloud.
cloud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
So
for
they're
every.
pushing everyone to the cloud.
Yeah.
Um, So some of the things that people would be able to do through that, besides apply for their own permits online, schedule inspections online, see where they're at. Also, we can link them to, if you want to accept charge payments remotely, this system can link them to your account. We don't take any money. We invoice you at the end of the month. All the money goes through you, and we want it that way, and you do too. Somehow my predecessor had checks come into PO boxes with community names on them, or ours. It's like, I don't want to touch community money. So that's the suggestion before you. So if you read through it, if you have any questions as far as the fees, I think they're defensible to your constituents. You will get some complaints, but it almost doesn't matter what you do. You probably already got a complaint about a building permit or two being too high, and best I can tell, you're about the lowest rate out there.
so
Yes, sir.
quick recap, the trade permits, we're at 80 and 40 now. I think I'm reading this correctly. And you're proposing 100. Well,
120
120 and 80.
So, yeah, understand that there's actually 3 fees in there. I went down to the root. So a lot of communities have the application fee plus the first inspection. And I just combined those. So our application fee would be 40, our first inspection is 80, our second inspection is 80. That's how we go to 120.
So it's 120, got it.
Yeah, DeWitt, for instance, has a $15 application fee, $100 for the first inspection and something else, and then I think 65 for the second. I don't remember, but yeah, everyone's a little bit different out there. But at the end of the day, if you look at the averages, you're between 110, 120 on that first inspection and somewhere around 200 on the second one. And that's where we landed. As reasonable, I think, in this case. If we do contract with you, you really only contract for the building official services and things. the trade fees generally are separate. We still manage that for you, but we separate that on purpose. And it's simply because the building inspections, building permits are automatically inflation adjusted because they're based on the value of construction. Trade permit fees are not. So this is where we get into a situation where you've got 10 or 20-year-old fees and they're half your cost because they don't automatically adjust. And suddenly you can't attract a guy out here to do it on his dime and gas and car $40. So we keep those separate just so that we don't have to scrap a whole contract every time we need a bump. And, you know, this will be your first bump and I don't know how long.
I think
I don't anticipate a new one.
When I
don't
went back. and
anticipate
tried
a
to
new
find-
one
I
anytime
was
soon,
stopped
but
before.
who knows? I mean, gas is now $4 a gallon and we expect that to drop back down. But
issue.
fair.
Sorry.
But if it doesn't, I mean, then it will come up again in a year or two. The cost of living is outpacing. So we can do up those contracts, we can get them out front to you and everything. But as I said, we're coming up to the end of that 90 days. Wanted to put it out there. I also strongly suggest you separate zoning. So you have a thing, and just hypothetically, if you've got a dance hall that's a very fat fee for a building permit, if your zoning administrator also enjoys the collecting that building permit fee, they might be inspired to, you know, not dig into it as deeply as you'd like. There's a very clear conflict of interest there in my mind. Because I will, you know, make money from your building permit fees so to leave me responsible as to whether or not the community even wants that built is probably not in your best interest. So we have a candidate we propose who's does work with me, but he doesn't have an interest in the company or whatever, but you could also hire whoever you want. But we did do a cost comparison of those fees and they're all over the map. And I don't think you really want to get too far in the weeds on that, but some communities might be 25 for a deck and then 75 for a house or 50 for a pool or this or that. And we said, look, you're going to pay a guy $60. So let's just make it 75. He's your contract employee. He's on your insurance. He works for you, not the building inspector or the guy collecting the building.
And zoning does come up a lot. I mean, I have to say.
Yeah.
we
A
get
lot more than building.
A lot of zoning questions and zoning this, and I'm like, I don't know.
Sure, and the, and I know you contract a lot of zoning out, and you may find that you don't have to contract as much out as you feel like, because you can
Right.
always ask this person first.
Yes, because so
And
so
they say,
having
oh,
a
that's easy,
zoning.
and it's $60 instead of 500.
Yes,
Right.
like having a zoning person that you can, the small things, I don't have to call Spicers and go, oh, what do I do here? You know, what, you know.
It's like 100 a minute.
Yeah, you know, I
It's
mean.
like calling an attorney.
Yeah, I mean, we're for big projects and things that are really, you gotta, sometimes you do have to call planning and they have to get involved in what we're gonna do, but. I find that, yeah, I could use a zoning person. That really would help a lot with a lot of things.
Well, and you're welcome to ask me as well. On any of
Which
those
I do.
questions. Which
I
is
have to
fine.
say that Joe has been
Amazing.
amazing, responds immediately. We've not had any issues with anybody getting their permits. It's been really nice.
Quick as you
People,
can.
yes, and people are like, oh, I think we got
That's
it.
also why I'm here, because right now on my crummy old BSNA, I'm having to start with the parcel ID number to generate these permits for you, and I want it on my cloud. This is,
I knew that, yeah.
it's, I don't have to do this archaic baloney.
And he's quick at it, so he's doing it the hard way, but it's still quicker.
But yeah, it's, if I were a hunting peck typist, it'd probably take me.
Are we looking for a motion to accept this as recommended by?
You can, I mean, the agreement doesn't expire until what, like the third week next month?
something like that.
Oh.
I was going to bring to you, if it's something you think you want to move forward to us, bring to you a contract next month that's a little more specific, but these would be the fees that we would require to go ahead with that contract, because if we stay with your current fees, you don't have enough volume, there's not enough money here to.
Right.
In the contract, you would list out the fees. Would
The
be
contract
these
would have the building fees.
fees. Okay,
You would, and your choice on this, but just support trade fees by resolution or whatever, but they will be separate from that contract simply. Because as I described, they have to be updated from time to time. The building fees do not. Because,
And the trades are truly another person
yes, well, yeah, most times, I mean,
They're
we have a lot of
hired
dual
by you,
people.
correct?
Yeah, we will manage them, but we will largely subcontract them. I happen to do building and mechanical, but I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician. You're gonna have continuity, you're not going to change inspectors. I spoke with the electrical inspector, and he's pretty chill no matter what.
And he's been doing
But
our,
they'll stay on. You've already worked with John, our plumber, who's also mechanical, who's also building, so we have depth in all of these things as well. I do have an electrical inspector in Elsie, so we're at least two people deep on every position, including zoning, but as I said, we want to separate those.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you'd be looking for, if you want, you can make a motion to accept the pricing here and to move forward with looking at the contract review it for next month. And we'll get it, and then we can discuss.
or we could let it lay and just wait
Well-
until he brings everything next month and we say yay, nay.
yeah, and I could do a resolution for the pricing, so that we have a resolution that we're changing our pricing. And then you will have the contracts. next month.
Simpler, more,
Or you could also
No.
make a motion to move forward with his company and we can review the pricing next month and we can sign off on it. Those are the,
Do you want us to have our price increase done before we sign the contract with you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can be simultaneous, but
Yeah.
if we don't bring the prices up, there's just
Yeah,
not
they're
enough
not
here to pay for my.
And I also think we should do a resolution just because
Yes.
it's changing our
Mhm.
fees, so a resolution is a little bit more formal.
Right.
for-
well, I'm just saying motion to accept
So
that
we'll-
resolution. To
Yeah, we'll do a resolution before and then approve this.
And also,
That's fine.
I think it's worth just reminding is that you're already paying for these inspections. And based on your permit fees, it's already sort of a loss loser for you. We will take 100% of that administration off your hands, although there will still be phone calls. So some communities add an extra percent to the building permit fees, for instance. Just
administrative fee.
to recover the gal's time in the office and such. So then it'd be $8 on the 1,000, but you keep a percent of that, for instance. But none of this comes out of a taxpayer pocket per se. It just comes out of the new build cost. So one of your constituents will still have to foot the bill, but it's part of their construction cost. And there are different ways to do it. Some people charge flat fees for pools and things like that, but when you do that, a lot of times you have the folks with the most paying a little, and the guy in the very modest house who needs a water heater pays just as much. So I had someone with $125,000 pool in Watertown complain about the high permit fee, and it's like, maybe you don't need $125,000 pool. For me to go the other route and flat fee everybody the same, then the guy in the mobile home, Grand River there,
Yes.
that's desperate for hot water is gonna pay just as much as the guy with his new $125,000 pool. So
Right.
that's why we like it graduated based on project cost. But there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat.
So when we sign the contract, is that just a yearly contract?
That would be up to you. Duration, oftentimes we most of ours now, but we've been with our client communities for years, decades really. Most of them are 3 years. But
And then I assume at 3 years, we adjust the permits up.
no, the permits, that's why I say they'll be separate from this contract. Because they may or may not move depending on, market forces, basically.
It is something
Well, that
that
would
we
be
can
the-
always
Or
read.
looked at.
Yeah, the building
Review.
permit fees. Yeah, what we want to be able to do is get into those independently of the entire contract. Because the building permit fees automatically come up as construction costs. So that $125,000 pool was probably only $110 a few years.
So there are, other than complying with regulation, we're just basically creating revenue at the moment, right? There's no advantage by increasing a fee to $150 that this city or this community will be better off in 10 years than a person that's paying $100 for the fee. I'm not saying we're not making money, but I'm just saying,
We're paying the
We're
people to
paying
do
we're
it.
just trying to break even.
Yes.
There is no matrix that says this community will have a better housing stock in 10 years by doing these fees.
No, those persons in your community that are in need of permits and pulling permits will probably have a better experience. We're gonna modernize you there. Some of your closest neighbors like Bath Township still aren't online, so the transparency is worse. Some of the advantages to the communities will be like FOIAs. Right now, if you got a FOIA from Rob's thing of how many water heaters did you have? Yikes.
We hope, we know.
You're going through drawers full of paper. We're gonna be able to create simple searches since it'll all be cloud-based, and you'll be able to do it here. You won't even have to call. And you do get those, how many generators, how many, you get the students from the U want to know how many solar panels are doing. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And if they ask for 10 years, Lord, you'd be
Yeah,
Rob's files, Shiawassee County. So going forward, we'll have that all compiled neatly and it'll be a pretty simple parameter system.
And is that unique to your company or
No,
the cloud-based, the access, that type of thing?
no,
It's
it's
just-
unique to
right.
the BSNA cloud, but it is, I'm not sure, how is Shiawassee County, are they cloud-based? We don't-
not,
No,
that,
they're
they
not.
weren't
Okay.
when we were with them, no.
So
It's
it'll
all-
be unique to the
Treasurer's
community
permit, definitely.
compared to its neighbors. I think the closest one nearby that might be able to do online permits might be the city of DeWitt. Everyone else has to fax it in or carry it to the office or whatever. It's just the way business is done now, and everyone's going to end up there. Could certainly wait, but we're trying to bundle it all into an attractive package to take it off your backs. A couple bucks or so. Looking at the revenue for the community, total permits for the year might be $3,000 or $15,000. So we're
Yeah.
not,
Oh,
carpetbaggers running out of here with a bag full of cash.
No.
And I will have subscriptions fees and setup fees to do this. So we're just trying to modernize you enough that, that makes it attractive enough for us to even help them out.
Yeah,
So
that-
under our current system of the lower rates, we're paying portions of those. What is,
No,
well,
the
since Rob
the
left, yeah,
people that want the permit, the
but we're paying the difference, yeah.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, since, well, since,
Yeah,
well,
for now.
since Rob's been here, I mean, that's basically what happened was, he was a flat fee we paid. And then,
This is $10,000 and I'll do whatever you want me to do. for
but
the
our
year.
fees, we were paying the inspectors more than what our fees were.
and the subs that will go away.
Yeah.
Like this.
Only $10,000.
These fees
more
will
than
be-
the revenue.
Basically, what you're saying, I'm willing to work for this fee.
These
Yeah,
are,
what I'm saying.
That
double
is what
work
it will
off the
be.
permit fees, you won't have to write a check except for the money that was paid for those permits to you.
Well,
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm willing to work for this much.
so, and, yeah, and
And it won't be any cost to us.
right. Right, and it should improve services for your people, but it's my intent honestly to have it so automated that I don't have to do much work for this except dispatch people.
well, I'm just.
Otherwise, it's not worth it.
The not having to do our end is, because we were doing a lot more work with Rob here. The office was, even with him here supposedly doing it, he wasn't.
Physically.
There's
Yeah.
no way you won't still have some traffic.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll have traffic, but we were having to input the stuff into the computer, we were having to keep track of those permits, I mean.
And there's gonna be growing pains as well. Yeah, instead of all that now, though, as far as the permits, you're gonna get an invoice monthly, detail it. And you'll be able to go on the cloud and see, to verify and
Yeah,
the
and for that,
transparency is.
yeah, you can go on anytime and see what the city of Laingsburg's done. Where before it was like, well, you could get a report and say what we were doing and what, were we breaking even? Well, we barely got that, so this, you can go right online and look. What have we done this month? We'll be able to see it.
It just seems like a no-brainer. This is, all we're doing is saving taxpayers.
Yes,
Well, and also streamlining, we're getting with it, so to speak.
Well, hopefully improving the service.
yes,
The-
yeah,
the-
I mean, we already have
Your
some,
formal building
matter of
official
best
was a little bit
practices.
aloof and people might not hear back for a week or so.
yeah, I mean, it's like night and day right now, since Joe's even taken over. Just how fast the permits get approved, I mean, everything's just like this, where before we're like. When's he coming back? What's, did calling him, trying to find out if he,
Yeah.
got the information, is he sending it out? Was a lot of work on our part and we were paying him.
So we're not voting on anything
No.
tonight. We're just basically tabling this to next.
Yeah,
What I
because
would like to lead with is that you're cool with separating zoning.
Yep.
Although I have proposed those fees,
Mhm.
new fees that you would charge and what you would pay someone. But that would be separate from us, so you can take that or leave it, but it's an independent study.
Yeah, he has
That
somebody
we're-
that,
Basically cool with separating that, we're basically cool with the fees. You want 1, 2, or 3 year contract. We do have to spend a little money to put you on our cloud, so I guess I'd prefer to start with a 3 year contract. If all that's agreeable to everybody, then I'll just go start typing and. I'll get it to you a little more before the meeting than the day before this time.
Sounds good to me.
So do you need some kind of motion?
Yes.
we get a motion to, come back next month with the resolution and with the fees. And then the contracts.
And he's gonna be able to,
You'll put that, I'll do the resolution cause I have the fees, so I can do the resolution for the fees and then he's gonna come back with the contract.
the resolution will separate the zoning.
Yeah, and then he's got another whole thing for zoning, correct? You'll have,
I have suggestions.
okay,
You're going to make that completely independent. of
yes,
those,
yep,
And it makes a lot of sense, folks.
yeah.
So basically, motion move forward with.
As presented.
What the information given to us, and we will have we'll have a review of pricing at the next meeting where we will vote on accepting or not accepting. That is what we're looking.
I make that motion.
Whatever that is.
Make the motion.
Good job, Randy.
Joe says.
All right,
We will do the AI.
thank you.
can I get a second on
I'll second
Randy's
Randy's
motion?
motion. Oh, sorry, Jason, I'm not trying to steal your.
No, you.
All in favor for that?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that is moving forward, so we will see you next month, too.
Okay, and we'll help you with your housing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Have that in the contract.
All right, here's another caveat one. Consideration of a motion to adopt the capital improvement plan.
Kill if you want.
Nobody has anything for me.
Joe, yes, sir. Could you have an idea of what the rental inspection fee might?
I think you're gonna be kind of in the same place where you're gonna have to pay somebody.
So I need a motion to,
100.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I
So-
have actually, East Lansing Housing and that. One.
Oh, so that's what we'll do.
Probably.
I know, and that's right.
Everyone else is. A little too literal sometimes from
Okay.
where you're just kind of laid back. So.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
all right, so consideration of a motion to adopt the capital improvement plan. Improvement plan that is on here, lists items that we need to be looking at. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to
Plan.
approve.
Got a motion, need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That is approved. Consideration to motion to pay PPT disbursement to the Laingsburg Library. That's what it said, so.
Certainly seem like you had more work.
Yeah.
I did, but that's what it says. I thought I had more words. I was thinking, what does PPT have, like person's protection? Yeah.
Property.
I'm thinking personal property, or personal protection.
Take personal time on.
Yeah, there you go. So you guys get to the right thing, that's not it. That personal property tax reimbursement allocation. Apparently we found an error someplace. And I'm sure Janelle will be happy to explain it better than I can.
We're supposed to make a motion.
We need a motion to approve it.
Which one?
The consideration to motion to pay the PPT disbursement to the Laingsburg Library. We need a motion to pay that, a
make
second,
that.
and then we can discuss it.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion. Second. All right. We got a motion of support, the tide. So now we can discuss it. What the heck are we talking about, Danelle?
Okay,
I goes around there. I don't know.
so personal property tax reimbursement comes from the state every year.
Personal property tax is what I would have to pay.
So if you took your
On
building and you
stop.
put it upside down, anything that fell out, it's like personal property, so,
And I don't pay that anymore.
no, because you're a small business.
Well, we should have never had.
Moving on, let's go.
So, this act started, using 2014, taxes. It was very vague when it first started. There was no kind of disbursement that ever was brought forward. Move along several years later, now we get an actual disbursement, like spreadsheet and how things are calculated for each millage. Was looking into this and then actually was talking to Sarah about it because she brought it up too, and I was like, well, we kind of found it, discovered it around the same time. And I did some digging more on the state statute, the act. The way that personal property comes through, it's dispersed and calculated for each millage that we have within the city. So like the county doesn't get involved, the school doesn't get involved, it's just city taxes. So operations, the road debt, the fire, and the library. The library is not considered essential because of how that one mill is voted. It's voted within here, and it's not voted within the voters. Now, when it's getting voted by the voters, that is an essential millage. So statutorily, we are not obligated to pay the library that disbursement. The state says that could be ours to keep. It's under 350. I went back like 8 years. It's always been under $350 each year. As a total, if we wanted to show like a good faith, we could go back and pay around 3,000 to 350.
3,500.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Or,
Local Roots already paid that, so.
or we could go moving forward, we automatically disperse that to them every year and we get the payment in. We have to do it for the roads, we have to give it to fire. They're an essential millage, so that is being done. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about it, why we give it to them and not to the library, and that is kind of what I've learned. My recommendation is definitely moving forward, they should always get it. I think it should just be dispersed.
So
Evenly
what if we,
between all four.
not sure if I'm following, but in the past, how,
It's
we've
never-
just kept it?
Yes, it's never been,
Just $350 a year, we just keep.
always been under 350. So it just gets put into our tax. Well, it's a it's a tax, so it goes into our tax fund collection. 703,
We collect it, but we don't give it to them,
right,
but we do give it to
it goes
the
into.
essential ones that are
Yeah.
voted on millage wise.
Right.
Okay. But this millage is one mill that we
Council,
agree to pay the
Yeah.
library.
yeah. This council does one, then the voters do one, so they can have 2 mills from the library.
So it's roughly $350 a year. Going forward, we will pay it to them every year. And do we want to also take the backward non-payments and do that too?
But we are not obligated, we don't have to, it's not like something that we haven't been doing that we should have been doing. That's what I was saying.
My feeling is that the library is under financial duress, not duress, that's improper, but anyway, they're struggling. And they no longer are getting the state funding. Because they didn't get enough from the community, the larger Woodhull, Scioto, Victor. So now the state money that they used to get, they don't get anymore. I think we need to, this is the minimum we could do for them. I personally feel.
I would amend the motion to approve a one-time goodwill payment of $3,000 to the library and create a policy to allocate all PPT reimbursements proportionally reviewed annually.
Which essentially is the full retroactive allocation. Sorry, Jody. Is that correct? Like
I
a
was,
$3,000 one-time goodwill is essentially option 3, a full retroactive.
yeah, it'd be really close.
So
to
they'll
that.
going year by year, it would be.
It's different. every year.
Essentially.
Year is-
But it's pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So, all
Yeah, it's
right,
gonna be roughly that.
so we got the motion. Let's get a second before we go into
Second.
discussion.
No.
Now we can discuss further.
Thought we already had a motion.
I thought we did.
Yes, we did. We have one.
But then he
Did the-
He amended the motion, so.
Oh, I'll go along with that.
Oh, wait, it's gonna be-
Yes, Judge.
So Sarah Danfer reached out to, I don't know how you both came upon this, whether you guys were in trainings and it just all popped up,
Yeah.
but she reached out to the state treasurer and they are making it sound like the library, that is not an option, that the city,
And I figured that
Is-
would happen, and that's where I started digging into. It has to do everything with how the millage is created.
It's
or
because the
voted on.
village is not by the voters, it's by us.
And we're kind of one of those weird libraries that is like that.
Cause why not?
Yeah,
Why not add to it?
I mean, it's like all the,
Best practice.
Yeah,
is to
it's-
do the-
yeah.
Cause it really, the law itself really actually doesn't. It just says if it is essential, and if you look at, you can go back and pull L 4029s, which are the tax millages that get taken to the county, then they get taken to the state.
Mhm.
That shows, so the state shows our library is not essential. When you pull any report, our library is not essential. That's how I mean,
Well,
we
then
have to go
yeah.
by what the state has them listed as. And I mean, if we can pull, I can figure out what libraries are essential and we can contact them and see how they go about, but I know that it's gonna be how that millage is voted.
Thank you.
All right, so the motion on the floor to write them a check for $3,000 and incorporate the PPT reimbursement on a yearly basis in the fall. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of accepting that motion?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That is carried forward. All right, we're almost there, Terry. I can see you losing it.
He lost
Sorry.
a long time ago.
Gonna even be here.
Motion
Yeah, I
to approve the
don't-
road
put 'em up
closure
both
for the
now.
Lions Club Springtime Festival.
I make a motion to approve the road closure.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried forward. You have your road closure. Motion to approve the proposed alterations to the property at 120 Railroad as outlined in a verbal quote from Mike and Sons.
Which. Did get a quote. Or did, we? Yeah, we did get it, but it was already out. I didn't hit it.
Okay, I said, I'm not saying that, so.
How much was that? Oh,
3,000.
All right, 120 Railroad, that's the one where,
Before we move on to that, sorry. I do have discussion, I guess, that like I definitely made the motion to approve the road closure, but one clarification on the request in here for the city to repair dirt portions of Railroad Street wasn't part of my motion, I guess, but
That's the next one.
that's one we're on right now.
That's all
that
right
is,
now.
yeah, thank you.
You just approved that we can close the roads, we're not.
Yeah.
We're.
It was all one
Okay.
letter.
Well, that's what I wanted to make sure, because like,
Yes. And that's what we don't have is that. I think so. Report. All right, so we're on the motion to approve the proposal alterations to the property at 120 Railroad. With a verbal quote from Mike and Sons. That is the area back behind where the carnival employees park, I believe. And they're trying to smooth that out so it's not a gaping hole of what, 15 feet with a foot or two deep or something. So
this has been discussed yearly for last 2 years, this year too. All I really wanted when I first asked for it was run down there with a backhoe or a scraper or whatever and fill in a hole full of water. Before the carnival.
Right.
And now we're here.
all right, so we're gonna need a motion to approve or whatever you guys want to motion. Motion to approve the proposal, so doesn't mean you
It's
have.
kind of like asking the DPW to go mow the park.
Okay, well, let's hold off on any further discussion.
I make a motion to
Thank you.
not approve the quote from Mike and Sons.
Okay, so a motion to not approve the quote, need a second?
I'll second that.
Now we can discuss it further.
I feel like the quote's far reaching. I don't think it's necessary to spend $3,000 to repair one single gaping hole that could probably be done with the backhoe reallocating gravel that already exists. If we plow it in the winter, it means we maintain that in the winter. We should be able to maintain it during the summer. If we are going to close it, which has been floated too, even if we were to close it to vehicular traffic, we should probably remediate what could be a breeding ground for mosquitoes because it holds water. I don't think this needs to be a long drawn out discussion about
Yes.
having a road or not road, or if it's not meant to be driven on, we shouldn't drive on it. I do think it would make perfect sense in the analysis that we do formalize our commitment to the Lions Club maybe in a additional motion. So we have an agreement to what we, the city, are willing to do to support the carnival every year. So there is no guessing that we can just say moving forward, that we change it, we're going to provide this level of service to this event. I do think allowing them to park the campers there makes perfect sense. And even if we were to close it to vehicular traffic, we could open it up for that use once a year. And that would be an acceptable use of that property until we were to move on from.
Yeah, and in the letter, it's pretty much lists everything that they want us to do.
Yeah.
So you could just approve the list items in the letter. As this is what the city will do for the carnival every year. I mean, I mean, unless they have something else that they, asking us to do or whatever, but it's a pretty good list of this is what we're asking and I mean, it lists everything that they wanted us to handle. So if everyone's in agreement that this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna maintain that, or, like keep that to where they can use it, we're gonna do that.
What costs? Based on prior experience, the city has incurred costs of seating $3,000 during the event just for DPW labor and police support. Electrical usage is more than double associated with this event. What's the $3,000 that the city incurs just for this event.
Wages,
Wages.
labor.
And we're not paying police otherwise.
Not on the weekends.
Weekends and not for, they're only part-time, so you have someone coming in 3 nights a week. Once,
So the police don't normally give us coverage during the week in
Not
the
at-
evening.
Not at
Yeah,
that,
not at that volume.
not on the
not
weekend.
as a volunteer.
NCW,
Sunday.
all that with trash and bathrooms, right? The front talk, right? Wouldn't that be additional?
Putting barricades out, putting,
Well, we can manage that. We know about this event ahead of time. We could give mandatory days off during the week and then reallocate those resources to the weekend. So there's no additional labor. This,
If
this
it's
to me is just about
to the
scheduling.
city, we should try to unburden it,
Yeah.
and that's a good
And
suggestion.
if we save overtime for the taxpayers, it's a win-win.
Right. Dave, do we have millings at the lagoons to do that? You do not?
And it's against our.
And it's against our.
Well, as Jason said, there's probably, that hole started out as a pothole, and now it's a lake. Take the gravel that was a road, a path, whatever we want to call it, put it back there, and now we don't have a lake and we have a path again. A flat spot, a chunk of land.
And if we were to prevent vehicle traffic on it and we just mowed it, if turf moved back in there, it would probably be a more stable ground when they do come and use it anyways.
Yeah, I think
behind
they
it.
would have, you know, if we did let it, you know, grow back to what a property, which is what it is,
Mhm.
then they would have more room to park and have, you know, be able to use the road. They'd be able to, you know, I mean, we'd let them drive on the, you
Oh,
know,
they-
property.
And they don't do that now because it's
Yeah.
a lake.
Right, I mean, they'd be able to park right over it and they'd be able to, I think it would be better situation.
So
as
we
far
really
as-
don't need to get material as much as we need to rearrange material.
Yeah, I mean, this year we have to, you know, to help fill the pothole, but moving forward, I think. Yeah, putting it back to the property that it was originally. We were trying to figure out how it became a drive. And
Fire
it,
department uses it
Well-
for filling trucks, don't they?
yeah, and, but it was like a drive and then it became then just, people just kept using it.
that's why, like, what about putting aside emergency vehicles only?
Right.
All right, let's
yeah,
get
we
back
talked
to the
about that.
motion
Got a
at hand.
suggestion for the dirt. We had a bunch of dirt taken from the parking lot. And it was brought over to the fire department to kind of fill in some of our holes. And
that's right.
I'll talk to the chief, but I'm pretty sure that pile of dirt. We can probably move to big hole of water. And that might actually fill that in. It'll be
If-
close.
If you can't, I have the dirt from Doyle Road.
Oh, yeah, you got a bunch of different.
I got a lot more dirt. So, and I'd be fine with that being moved too. So let's get back to the motion at hand of not approving the
Motion didn't have.
alteration proposal from Mike and Son. So you're gonna be voting on not approving Mike and Son's quote to fix the road, is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
Any further discussion on that motion? Okay, all in favor of not approving that quote?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so that is not approved. Now we can create a new motion from somebody if we want to alter that area with some material that we have on hand to move forward from that, to make sure the Lions have that understanding that it's cleared out.
And this is kind of where I got off on
I can do.
like asking them to go mow grass.
Right, I just Yeah.
Go.
I mean, I
give me
would,
a motion.
I
I'll
would
make
say-
a motion.
Thank you. Give me a second motion.
Second.
Okay, now we can discuss on filling that hole with materials either from LSW Fire Station, or they can pull it off the golf course where they dump Doyle Roads gravel underground. I'm fine with that.
So what was the discussion? We're not allowed to barricade that off?
We're not allowed to.
The fires,
Gotcha.
fire trucks pumping is right there. So they'd be driving on that area. That's why we can't totally block off in case they have emergency to get there, but we can stop public traffic from going on it if we needed to.
It's not a road.
he would use the.
No, but
Therefore, it can't be.
Short of barricading, people are gonna drive on it, so I'm just curious how we barricade it, but don't.
I don't think so.
No.
Or we can rope it off.
But if we were developing it and we just sold it.
We then want to make sure we're ready.
Emergency.
That's close point, so.
But he also should go through the car wash.
All right, let's bring it back to organization.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had permission, you could use that.
Okay.
Consideration of what it might be, the car wash or the bar, if we were. to close that off, because their parking lots.
It would probably hurt their business, in my mind, because they, a lot of people come in from that way, they avoid the hole. But yeah, so.
Right.
Do we have a motion on the floor on how we're gonna do this, or I just wanna stop all the fight.
Can't that just be DPW decide how to?
Yeah, we don't, yeah, I mean, if you're, I mean, I don't think you need a formal motion to
Okay.
have him do that.
Dave, you got
To
it?
do it?
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on then.
Fix the hole and don't let cars drive on.
Okay.
I think they're letting you do it.
Yeah, the whole point of the reason we went the other direction was if we was gonna do it to do it right and with that, so the water actually went off it.
Right.
And we didn't have to fill the hole every year.
Okay. We can work on that. All right, motion to approve Allison Franks to the planning commission board.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, need a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Are you gonna vote no?
I was still back on.
Oh. All right, any discussion for Allison? Okay, all in favor of approving her to planning commission? Any opposed?
You were gonna oppose it.
No. All right,
Like, wait.
she's approved. Next motion to approve Monica Cutbirth to the library board.
I'll make a motion.
Had a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That's moving forward. Motion to authorize the Legion Post 248 to operate a beer tent in the lower park area of the Springtime Festival.
This is exactly what they did last year. That's
I'll make motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That is approved. All right, other items, boat launch barrier, tree brush.
What about health insurance?
That's
Next.
Second.
I know. Stop jumping the gun. Come on, number 14.
I didn't think I was.
All right, what are we talking about here? Boat launch barrier.
Okay, so we talked about this before, you know, that we're gonna put the barrier up.
Yes.
We're gonna do well, we've had some other ideas. We need to make a decision on what we're gonna put out there because those people are gonna be coming in here to ask what we're doing.
We
Okay.
already called.
Wasn't the engineer gonna go out there and look at what was there and I thought when they were here and discussing something, they were gonna look at what was there and what was expected and
Everything.
No, it's like
Yeah.
what they did is because we didn't get as much dirt as we thought maybe we would, that's why the berm is so small.
So the grant specifically says that whatever dirt is actually removed would be the berm, and so that's what happened, and that's what was actually removed.
We were hoping it was gonna go up here.
So speak to a,
I mean, it doesn't really have anything to
To
do
do
with
with
them, it's
them.
what was wrote in the grant.
Were we not gonna get bids from professionals to see what they would recommend?
Yeah, we started.
Well, we were,
Yeah, we have,
we were gonna get bids for how much the berm was gonna cost, but as far as opinions on that, that was never an approval, and we have to make sure that the grant is closed before we put anything in there that's not,
part of the grant.
that's
it's gotta be a
different
natural barrier.
naturals.
If we do anything other than natural barrier, like.
So what we need to do is make a motion for 50 boxwood plants to go there.
Well,
So
we'll do that until.
is it more complicated than like, if the berm is too small and Greg has all this extra dirt that he's offering, could we, and maybe it's not that, maybe we wouldn't want to for this, but like, could we not just make the berm bigger with free dirt?
How would that be for mowing?
But then you've got.
Do you, I don't know, if there's like natural grass,
Gonna
I
be a
don't know.
pile of weeds otherwise,
Okay,
and that's all we're ever mowing anyway.
They might sell.
We control weeds with a mower blade.
So,
Do it and then,
Yeah.
and they sell it.
so what are we looking for? We need
That's
a,
for one
We
person.
just,
Yeah.
because we've already gotten a call from them.
We
And
need
they
to-
want to like move on it, so we
Okay.
either need to get bids for all of these things, trees, shrubs, and the berm. And find out what we wanna do, But we kind of, I put it on here because we need to, we
What
kind
if,
of need to move
what,
on.
can we do
We
it
need to know
without
what we
bids and do it ourselves?
Well, I don't have, I mean, it's not a
Why
budgeted
Can
item.
Dave,
Wait, I would
Yeah, I mean,
think
we
it's
could,
just
yeah.
point and play.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, even if you
Dave,
just put some dirt in there.
But-
Jason and
More
myself
decorative than
could
the
easily go.
pine
take
trees
care
on
of
it.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna do dirt, then obviously that's not gonna cost anything, but trees will, brushes, those things are gonna cost, so.
Something that was
And-
not planned in the, with the budget, so.
Yeah,
You
so,
guys would have to approve, I would need to find them.
To deviate.
and we
Yeah,
wanna
we need to
make
find
sure that we have answers to
when
their
they call.
questions when they.
I would like to, whatever we do, in whether we have DPW go plant stuff or wherever we have to do it, or we get bids from a professional. That we call our neighbors in and say, this is what we're proposing to. do."
That's where I'm,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
No,
I
exactly,
really
yeah.
wanna know what we're gonna do, so I can send that letter and
Yeah.
say, hey, this is what we're thinking, what do you think about this?
We
So that
also-
we're not back to.
So I think whatever we do should be consistent with like the natural
Yes.
makeup of that area.
I'm fine bringing more dirt in and getting some trees or some higher
Mhm.
brushes. I don't think boxwoods would get high enough, so we would get some other, they would definitely smell great.
How tall do boxwoods get? 6, 8, 10 feet?
No,
Okay.
they can, but
Well,
Don't they have to?
they want the barrier now.
That takes-
Well, we're not out
That
anything,
takes
asking
quite a
for
while.
quotes, correct?
No, no,
no,
so,
we could easily get quotes. I don't wanna put more money into a professional company, charging
Yeah,
$6, $7, $8,000 for
I
something we
agree.
can do for pennies on the dollar.
well,
All
like,
three
you
would
know,
have
we
to
get
go
quotes for
through.
how much the boxwood, how, you know, if there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
tree that we wanna do.
how much
you
is
know.
a ballpark boxwood this tall?
You don't want that.
Okay,
Well, and they want a barrier, so
Yes.
we have to make sure that
you
it's
don't need to buy one.
tall.
Boxwoods that are
enough.
this big are like $50.
They are.
I just,
Double.
would it
Yeah.
be against city policy if we did not bid it out and we took care
That
of
are
it
like
ourselves?
12 inches tall.
I
No.
need 118 of them.
I mean,
It just has to
as
be-
long as you're not
money has to
spending money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fish it out.
The only thing
Um,
I'm concerned with too is you gotta remember that what's underneath. The whole reason of doing what we did was to disturb that soil as least amount as possible because of what's under it. So if
Yes,
we start
I-
digging,
I
Digging.
understand that 100% because
Right,
I
I
have the
know.
same thing.
but we need to be
Um,
careful of that because then you start, I mean, Eagle's already been involved with this site,
Yeah.
so.
That's why you build the mound up, so you don't get the roots into this dirt, because I can't plant plants on the golf course because of that landfill.
Well, good, that
That's
means
why
you
we
don't
built
hit
it up.
it with the balls.
So
Now,
are we good with
I've
leaving
tried.
the berm where it's at,
Doesn't
being
work.
they put the property lines where they're actually at now, and our property goes a lot further over than.
That's the
think
thing that we gotta
That's the
figure
other
out.
thing.
I don't think the berm is a problem where it's at, it just needs to be higher, just needs
That's
to be
what
higher.
you guys wanna do about their.
And you are going to, be covering the porta potty out there, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
plus they changed it,
Oh, they did?
yes.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice, so they got one that came in stock or whatever. and
Yeah,
they-
no, it's green with the white kind.
oh.
That's not.
So how about we get a motion to talk to the property owners, discuss how we're gonna fix the barrier, and then we can bring up the property lines as well to make sure that they're in the proper location. Because isn't there an issue with the property?
They found it.
We found the markers and we got stakes on them, and that's how we know they're about 60 feet off. from-
60?
Yeah,
Wow.
where that berm is, we're about 60 feet over towards the driveway.
So 60 feet further away from the
berm.
neighbor.
No, towards the neighbor, from that berm towards the neighbor.
They've got,
60 feet.
Yeah.
So these, you know where the trailers are?
Yeah.
Beyond the trailers, cause they're 100% on ours, so,
Okay,
so I'm like,
Interesting.
maybe it wouldn't disrupt there.
I don't think the
how far
berm needs to be moved, it just needs to be higher because it's supposed to be blocking their view.
or if we plant something that is growing 60 feet that way.
But if you don't move it, then you're
Flatten
giving
that
them
berm
50
so
feet
that we
of
can mow it.
land.
No, the
berm?
berm doesn't need to be moved, it just needs to be higher.
Why?
Because it's supposed to block their views.
But
It
if
doesn't
the
need to
berm-
be closer to the property
everything
line.
beyond the berm is city land for 60 feet, right?
Yes, it's
So
still
why
our
not?
land.
I know we're not actually giving it to them, but if we just leave the berm where it is, then it's their land. It's not, but like, what will we ever do behind the berm?
Put some trees or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're talking about, putting
Okay.
trees there or something, but
Behind.
just moving the berm, I don't think that's a good idea either.
I
because
think
it
Randy's
goes
more
up and down.
referring to
Is
there
that gonna be a
stuff on-
property line?
Yeah, like,
They
are they,
put it
move
there.
that.
are they going to inherit that land
They have to.
unofficially?
I mean,
have to
once
move it.
once we're finished and we do all this, they're gonna have to move that, that's on our property, so.
If if that was yours and you go to sell it. I mean, are you gonna say, well, that we just inherited that? No, it doesn't work. So they're gonna have to.
And
they're
the
gonna have to move it. I
berm,
mean,
the berm was never supposed to be the property line. That was just supposed to be.
No,
something
it's
that-
supposed to be at the driveway, so when we make the turns, the headlights aren't going up their driveways.
But at this point, you have to have a little
Right, so-
bicycle with a light to.
Someone give me a motion on talking to them and making this barrier and berm go higher.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second. All right, any more discussion? All in favor to talk to the owners and tell them what we're gonna be doing, and updating it? That's all we're doing right now.
I kind of feel like we already established that like months ago when they were here, right?
Yeah, well,
You're gonna make it up.
we're gonna, all right, any more discussion? All right, yeah, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, so let's call them, get them in here, talk to them and figure that thing out. Number 15, health insurance.
So, we had questions last month about the health insurance, these are the answers to the questions. So, I think it's you, Jody, that asked,
First, would we still be able to move forward with these? Is that the right one? Yes,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. so, if we decided to charge for the insurance, would we be able to, stay with the same one and then we could choose?
Each employee,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
They said that a lot of times, they'll limit it to like 3,
Mhm.
they won't just be like
Yeah.
all over the place, but yeah.
Thank you for giving that.
That'll be something we have to change next year.
We currently are not offering more than one plan option, are we?
No. No.
We
This would
are
be-
now offering the gold option,
Gold option 2.
gold
Gold
option.
Same as we did, like, we renewed the same one, but we didn't change this. It was the least. It was the least that.
So this is just for informational purposes, not for us to actually do something unless we want to do something.
Later.
Yeah, you already approved to renew our health insurance. This was some questions that we had that I,
Okay.
the answers to.
So this is a possibility next budget.
Mhm.
And the next one.
Keeps that.
Yeah. All right, any more questions on that? Anybody? All right. All right, moving on to the department head reviews. And we are not moving at lightning speed on this, and it needs to be moving faster. So what I believe we're going to do is, the committees need to do a review individually. Give it to the committee head or the mayor. They will compile them.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, it's changed again.
No, it hasn't changed again.
Okay.
We determined that was illegal.
What,
Oh, that was a good one.
what needs to happen is the reviews need to be written.
So we're not gonna write reviews, right?
So
Form.
you had suggested that yourself and each department head
Yes.
would write the reviews and give them to everyone.
Okay,
That will then do the reviews for each, each department head
Okay,
and
and then the mayor pro temp and the mayor will do
myself.
yeah.
Can we like write in writing what needs to be done for them? Like
Confused?
after this, yeah, I'm definitely confused. I feel like we've been circling this for like several months. and
Yeah,
I-
we have.
We can review the last
And I'm not clear at all as to like what I need to be doing.
meetings. I thought we actually had something in place. I thought we determined that any body less than the entirety of the council that was reviewing an employee was in fact
Yes.
fulfilling an
Everyone get
administrative
reviews.
role.
Everyone be reviewing, but we need somebody to actually write the reviews,
The
so that they
form.
can give the review.
Do we have a template?
That's what
It's-
she's saying.
You need
Yeah.
a template.
Yeah, we need something
Okay, and Jason sent a
for you
template
to
out.
use.
To, at the time, well, like, months and months ago when
Yes.
I thought.
We were-
Departments,
Yeah, I
I
filled
wrote
it out.
reviews for the two departments that I sit on. I would be happy to look at the job descriptions. If you guys will provide me with job descriptions for DPD, DPW and police, I'd be happy to. Basically put them in the same format. All it was a summary of the job description, bullet pointed.
Yeah, strengths and goals or something. like
Goals,
that.
yeah, because that's the biggest thing. I mean, you guys know your jobs a heck of a lot better than we do. So what you want us sitting in here saying, well, yeah, this is how you're doing when it comes to, no.
I think you saw it. I know you saw it, 'cause I filled mine out, because I thought it was. And then
Yeah.
it didn't go home, and I was like, well, I'm done. I'm like, nobody approved that. We didn't do that.
A+.
So
And that might be bad. I don't know. I need to do
I
it
mean,
for again.
my goal would be able to have these done at the next meeting. That is what I want.
Okay,
So we
so,
can put this to bed.
so then we can
Are
do
you
our
gonna-
reviews next month.
Yes.
You're gonna keep ours the same, so then I can
I
just be
would,
like, I'm
yeah.
done.
But the police was different, correct?
Well, you-
The police
you
can do
use
it in
the
their
same-
committee.
Yeah, you can use the same template.
You just do
guys
it in the committee.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the whole board. to do it. Is
Okay,
Whenever there's a template I can look at. So maybe please send it to me.
so does that make sense to everybody? All right, so we will have them all done by at the next meeting, and we will go through them.
So that will be on next.
It will be on the
month's
agenda. Yes, it has to be done,
As a done deal.
and I will try to pester everybody if it's not. Even myself.
trying to do it again and.
No, October.
Yes,
We'll be all practiced up.
Yes.
yes, we'll do it.
Well, it's so far away that we forgot.
All right,
No, you will.
moving on to committee reports. Let's start off in the library. Do we have anything?
Yes.
Okay.
But can I ask a question about
Certainly.
the previous thing? Is the Lions Club all set? I know Jason had said something about having. Did you say contract
A
or?
formalized agreement, just so
Oh, yeah.
there's a set. The city's gonna provide the Lions Club with a place for the carnival employees to park. With access to electricity. But basically what they've asked for in the letter.
Yeah, the letter has what they want.
Yeah.
So we're good. You don't need anything else.
Where is this letter?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's with the road closure.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Yeah, if we're agreeing to do all that, but I think moving forward, it'd be nice for both entities for us to.
Have an
Lions
agreement.
Club, hey, this is what you can count on every year.
Well, and they're very
More
good
responsible.
at sending that out, you know, the road closure every year, and so basically, he's just probably gonna copy and paste it every year and send it to us, and it'll be on our agenda. Right before.
And I think our goals as a council is for the representatives of the Lions Club to walk out here tonight thinking like. Yes, the city is excited that we're having the festival here this year and we will support you guys 100%. So.
Or not even have to show up and know it's gonna
Yeah,
be passed.
exactly.
And we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
We wanted to show up just almost.
Okay, so-
So water and electricity will be turned on Friday. The week before,
Yes,
because carnival people start showing up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're gonna have porta johns already here. with the carnival for sure by Saturday,
okay, there you go.
and then the rest, and again, they may bring all 13 of them at once. Just to let you know,
Okay,
so they will be at the normal locations. The dumpster will not come in till the following Tuesday, like it normally does. Set up right next to clothesline or whatever.
oh, okay.
That side of that building right there.
Yeah.
It used to be the pharmacy back in my day,
Right.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah,
As long as we have the water and that, so that they aren't calling Lori or me or Nick. That's great, and then like I said, we'll have the porta johns there Saturday for them.
You've got to schedule the times that you, for the turning all that stuff on for them. Okay, yeah, so should be
The
set.
electricity, we just have to take the padlock, so we
Yep.
get in it, and the
Yep.
water will be, I was gonna turn it on Monday, but, thanks to Mother Nature, we'd be safe, waiting for Friday. so.
Don't blame them. Don't blame them. In that road, I think where that big puddle is right next to where they have the 6 porta johns too, so please.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you don't need a fortune.
Maybe
No,
they'll
we're
get
getting
water,
into
just run into the porta john.
We don't need the DNR out here.
Right, the library.
All right, are we good to go on the library now?
You guys feel with that.
Good.
Um,
All right, moving on to the library. What we got?
All right, so I've been telling you guys that we've been going out to townships. As the library board, we knew that the current funding was not sustainable. We've been going every month since September, October, talking to each township. Not getting very far with what they're willing to donate. So Sarah Matson had called the state of Michigan library funding to ask some questions on how do we move forward with this. That led to the state looking at some things and the state realizing that the townships are not giving us 3/10 of a mil, which does not let us receive state funding. So we our state report for 24-25 was submitted. That had to be done, I think, February. They have looked at that. They have sent us a letter saying that we are losing state funding. In the amount of, we're gonna have a deficit of 50,000, just over $50,000. So that is huge. They even took a combination of the 3 townships to try to get us those mills, so they're really working with us. With that,
So I understand that, so they're paying you too much?
No, they're not paying.
Oh, no.
They're not paying you enough, but you lost your state funding?
Because
if
you
they,
have-
they're not, each township should be paying us 3/10 of a mil.
Okay,
in order
and
to retain the state
receive
fund.
state
Yeah.
funding. And
Oh.
because they're not, we are losing our state funding.
and
With that state funding,
Have they
like if
historically paid the
they were not
3/10
getting
of a mil, they
support,
stopped
then.
paying?
If the community doesn't support it,
The
why should
state,
we?
okay.
they have never paid 3/10.
No, it's,
I was gonna say,
that, it's been the same amount in the contract for years.
I think the change in leadership at the library and I don't know.
It hasn't gone down, has it? It just never has
It
been
has
up
never
where
been.
it should have been.
Been
right,
the same for.
So with that, the state funding is not just, that money, we also, lose our E-rate. We lose our technology grant of $11,000. So that part of that 50,000 is part of that too. But that also puts us in situation that we have to receive the state funding to be part of the co-op.
Oh, right.
As I keep hearing that we're different than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The co-op is, willing to work with us and try to keep some of the Libby, the things that we really need. So Sarah Metzen is, sending them a letter saying like, during our current circumstances, are you willing to accept this? Because we want it in writing. So that is in place. We still are having conversations, with the townships and with our budget that we have, we are, gonna be short like $13,000. We've talked to the townships supervisors and can you guys help us? How can we go about doing that? Currently, Scioto pays us $7,500, or they just upped it for the 26-27, 7,500. We need 9,000 out of them.
To be at 3/10.
No, just to be able to make up that $13,000.
Okay.
We're never gonna get the 3/10. Victor Township up theirs, they were paying 4,000. They are our biggest users. They upped theirs from 4 to 5.
Oh.
I told them that it was like a slap in the face. There is a lot of no's out there. And I don't know how we're gonna get through that, but we are asking them to come up to 14,000. And then Woodhull, that has been the biggest supporter the whole time. Theirs is at 95. We're asking them to come up to 12,000. So we're gonna go to their meetings. We are asking, we're reaching out to our patrons and we're asking them to attend, write letters. We've told them that we need this money in the 25-26 budget, so they would have to do an amendment. This is, we're not asking for this for 26-27. We need this now.
Need it today.
So we're gonna see what we can do. We also have, briefly talked about. We know that we're not gonna be sustainable from them, so it's probably gonna look like a millage. So we're gonna start looking at how does that work? Who does it? How, do we become our own? Do we not? So we'll have some discussions with you guys, but it's a lot. I mean, they get pretty heated. So,
Well, maybe if you get a millage, you don't have to have that conversation with them.
yes.
You just, if they're not gonna pay their 3 cents.
Well, and I've told the board because there's, we've had changeover in the board and people are getting burned out. I mean, you keep going and you keep trying to fight and trying to explain, and like you guys know, this is so confusing that no one understands
Yes,
any of it.
yes, that's why I was like, that's probably what's going on with this whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're trying to explain that to them in your, 3-5 minutes and, it's a lot, but I told the board, I said, this board's ever changing, city council's ever changing. The townships are, I said, if we don't get this secured, you are going to never move forward. It is going to be. It's gonna be this way like it has been for 30 years.
Right.
So,
Now, the millage, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that the one where you had to get the townships?
Want to be a district, you mean?
Oh, that was to be a district, okay.
so
Am
we,
I confusing the?
so we don't know. We don't
Okay.
know, do you go join another? Do we become our own? We all kind of have our thoughts on it. How does that play out if we become our own in the city? So there's, Sarah Matson reached out to some library millage people to find out how that works. So that's where we're at.
Victor, the library keeps records of users.
Yes. I don't have that
And
with me.
the users, the highest township user is Victor.
I think, I don't have that with me.
Yet they pay less than half of what help.
Correct. Yes.
And they paid a generous $4,000 and bumped it up to a
Yes.
big 5.
And what I've
And-
told them, when we're having these discussions, I said, when I'm voting, it's not what Jody Frank wants, it's what is best for the city. And I would hope that you guys are doing that too. Well, we have them come to the library because some of them have never been in the library. I think it's so old school to them what a library is. They don't see what a library is. And I said the other day, I said, I knock on wood, I don't use the ambulance, but
You still pay?
I pay for it because I want it there. I don't use the schools, but I pay for it because I want it there. In the library, the perception of it needs to change, and that's what I'm hoping. But it's gonna be hard.
Victor Township overall has been, I'm always,
They're-
know a lot.
They're not a very
There's a-
community.
Well, there's a lot of farmers out there. In
Which township?
Victor, a lot of farmers.
It's,
There's a lot of people that live in Lake too.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that I would think would get the most support. I mean, they would be the.
well, it's the board.
Yeah.
It's the Victor Township Board.
That's why, yeah. Learning more about the millage. That
Yeah, so
Doesn't matter what
that's where we're
force.
at.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on.
And the people.
Sarah has updates her Facebook page, and even though we're running on a minimum budget, she's doing a lot of amazing stuff over there, so.
Is there funding to continue to pay Sarah
Yes,
It's
for the time being, keep the lights on
yes,
for how long? Unknown,
well,
like, are we 2 months out, 6 months out?
no, I think we're okay.
But-
Yeah. Don't panic me.
So,
I said, it, and was that on ADW or something? All right, thank you.
All right. After that, gruesome report.
Yeah.
Planning Commission. What we got, Jason?
Well, you guys got it. Yeah, You have the rental code and.
Yep.
CIP and.
all the fun stuff. So not a lot there. DDA is meeting tomorrow, or not, yeah, DDA is. Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, we're meeting tomorrow, so I don't have much for you. I don't think I've,
Since Kim,
You weren't here.
I wasn't gonna be here,
It's
so.
because it's 'cause of you that. they-
Yeah, I was the only one that couldn't come, so they changed the whole meeting. All right,
About a nine.
DPW.
I guess we got lots going on, sidewalks, mowing, cemeteries, all that's gauged, ready to make it look good from tree trimming.
Plowing snow.
did you
Salt.
see someone say something about that light at Meridian and
Yes.
Grand River? Can that be adjusted?
No, it's,
Oh, it's adjusted right now. It's shut off.
it's off now.
Oh,
I said, just turn it off. We're getting them,
We're-
we're getting them
They're
redone
getting
anyway.
redone, and we're looking at, take some road signs. We're gonna make a shield on that will.
That would stop it,
Towards
okay.
the-
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's actually cemented in.
Yes, cause I was like,
Yeah.
well,
The
wait,
pole and all.
or
We're
put
gonna
it down.
We're gonna attempt to cut the pole off and shrink it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure something out, but. I said, just turn it off. We're gonna be removing them to have them redone, so
Yeah.
I'm like, just.
it is.
Just.
And I did see it, I responded back to it, because they just said the welcome sign.
Got it, is that all you got?
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, finance.
We pretty much discussed everything from the PPT, the railroad property, CIP, and cannabis. So
Okay. Go to police.
LSW and police have both been busy with fires and police activities with the gunman activity here last month and several other things. R&R salvage fire yesterday. Few repairs. Police vehicles, ambulances, a couple months out. New ambulance coming.
Very good. Good pick that, though. LSW, while you're on a roll.
I just.
Oh, that's all of them. Oh, you can't buy them. Look at that.
I have,
Oh, yes. Yeah, see, I was trying to skip right past it.
I was not gonna let you.
Danielle, I forgot,
I
honestly. I
I
wasn't.
want clarification. I want everyone's blessing, I guess. I handed out a separate, that's what this is. And I
Oh,
said
shit,
you'll need
actually.
eventually. I don't even know really where to begin with it. So I was approached by our auditors on, how the whole interlocal agreement and paying LSW, is handled. And so I've been looking into it more. This is all the kind of the information, but I want to know and blessing to move forward with getting it clarified on how the LSW perceives it and bills us versus how I perceive it and how I think it should be billed. It's very confusing because it deals with taxable values and villages and just like what we were just talking about, there's a lot of that and so.
Kind of adding on that, like Victor isn't a owner in LSW, but they shouldn't be part of the calculation, but it kind of alludes to
It
like
is.
maybe they are
Yeah.
and they shouldn't be, but maybe they need to be like removed and then
Oh.
calculate separately, so.
Agreement is between Woodhall, Scioto and the city. And that is, you take those taxable values as a whole. And you multiply that by and divide it by taxable values and the cost of the budget. That gives you your share. But if they're including Victor, which it states in the agreement that any contract with services outside of this agreement, unless the agreement is amended, really should be separated so that we know that we're paying our share. And that's possibly subsidizing for Victor, or anyone else, Bennington, Townships Close, anything else. Budget should state, it's in the agreement, it states that the commission adopts the budget, the LSW budget. And it later states that it needs to be approved by the governing bodies, which would be Scioto. But they perceive it differently as. So I would like permission to kind of
there's a difference in, yeah, how that the interlocal agreement is perceived on the LSW side versus here. Basically, the LSW opinion, and I'm not just saying specifically me, but from the last meeting, my understanding of the discussion was that the representatives of LSW, me being one of those representatives, we as a collective approve the budget and then present the budget to each of our groups, whereas not to approve, to show
What they.
that it's interpreted the way, and I don't know if this is a verbatim copy from the interlocal, but
Yeah, some of it is.
some of it, it seems like it's missing some of it, but like the way that we read it is that the majority of the representatives that make up LSW, the representatives represent each of their areas, they would approve the budget and then provide a copy of that budget to the city, whereas
I disagree with that.
Danielle disagrees with that. And maybe I disagree with it too. Now I'm kind of confused because it's just a lot of. So like,
Only because it doesn't match your number.
Well, no, not so much. I disagree because we are a governing body and having a representative should not, we don't, in our ordinance or anywhere, do we give the representative authority to make financial decisions for our governing body. A governing body is a governing body. It's 7 individuals that do that, not one soul. Same with like administrative for our evaluations. We can't have one person
Talking for everyone.
we're talking for everyone, it doesn't state that, I think in the ordinance it should state. They give authority to have a representative, we appoint a representative, but we do not give them authority. Or it doesn't
Finance.
over finances or budgeting. Now, if you look at the budgeting guidelines and act for the state, every governing body has to approve a budget. They're technically an authority. They provide us services. We provide the funds for them to provide that service. So really, that's why I believe it states that each governing body approves it to make sure that we are funding what we're supposed to fund.
But would you also think that with that theory or like that process that each purchase that LSW makes should be approved by the
That's part of the budget.
city as a whole?
When
But that's
Once-
budget.
once the
Within the
budget's
budget.
approved, then they can go ahead and.
Right.
The
They
budget
have
is
to
just
do it in
a
the budget.
rough template. I mean, it's never, I mean.
So then the same with us, if you're gonna have to break that budget, that's an amendment, and I do believe that, yes, that should be. It should be brought at least to the attention, like, hey.
Am I reading this correctly? The actual invoice is what LSW is charging us,
That's what.
and agreement allocation is what you say it should be. You, from your,
Agree.
But I don't
I
have,
could agree what
Yeah.
they are billing.
right,
yes, but I don't have that. I reached out asking for the budget because we never saw the budget to approve the budget. So I asked for the budget. I also asked for proof that all the other 2 entities approved it, because if 2 entities approved it, doesn't matter what we say. So I asked for that, but I didn't get it.
Treasurer of LSW board
I think we're the
would
board.
present to us.
Well, at the
I don't know
least,
who
I
would
think we
present
were
or-
thinking they should have given it to Randy. Randy should have brought it to us and then it's approved. Like once.
Yeah,
approved
and
by
so
their
going
board.
at the last meeting, we've established that at least at a minimum, whether it's to bring it here to show or bring it here to be approved, that every year each representative would bring the budget to their thing. And I've only been on it for a year, but in the past, that hasn't been like a set policy.
Who's the second person from the
Second,
city?
It's only one.
It's only one.
no, it's not, it's Kerner,
Oh, yes.
But
we
not from
appoint-
like council.
Yeah.
From
We
the,
appoint her.
we're
yeah,
supposed to
that's
have
appointed.
2
It's
people.
Ker-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her
it's
first name?
Turner. Kelly? or
Kelly.
Kelly
Kelly.
Kerner lives in the subdivision on Doyle.
Okay,
She's not part of council, but she is the
yeah,
other city
so she's,
representative.
okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
That's right. I don't know where I was going with that at all, but I forgot.
So I just want, like, I don't wanna step on toes. I don't wanna think it's something.
Yeah, we all want to make sure that we're paying the right amount and we want, like, nobody's wanting to like not pay, the city's
Right.
not wanting to pay the bill.
But we
And,
would
and
get-
LSW doesn't think that the city's not wanting to pay the bill, but we want to make sure that the right people are reviewing what needs to be reviewed and approved and that we're following the agreement. So Danielle, just looking for
Right.
a
In our
approval
case,
to get
we're
clarity.
$1,000 off.
We pay more, or we could pay less. I
Yeah, I
want
mean,
it to
there's,
be
there's
instead of
scenarios that
free.
we put in, doing by doing it one way, we could be paying, underpaying them. Or another way, we're overpaying them. So it's kind of like, well, we need to sit down and have one way to do it. So everybody's on the
And
same
the
page.
agreement show, it tells you the formula, right, in the agreement. Is not how I dissected the budget that I received.
Only now have I realized that Victor was a contract.
Well, that's because that just happened.
Yeah, it
Within
does.
the last year,
Yeah,
just within the last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
They match exactly what Hall pays.
Well, originally,
What's that?
right, for the ambulance.
originally they were part of the deal,
Yes.
and then they all had a argument. And they went and did their own thing, but now they're back, but only under contract.
Yeah, with the ambulance.
And the number 315 is figured out by,
So that's what it was, that's just what it was last year. And then this year it matches with
How
when
they
the
come up with
contract,
these numbers?
I don't know how they came up with the
you
three
know,
fifteen.
Randy,
What's the 315?
The 315 was the 2005 or 2025 number. And then, so I don't know how they got that one.
That was from fire, because
Okay, yeah, that was fire.
start until
Right. till
they
after
did a
that.
contract.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what that is.
who,
Yes, it would be
who
a-
makes sure that they pay a fair and prudent amount? Victor.
that's on their, well, that's their
Theirs,
contract,
they have
that's
their
why we
own.
separated, who cares, right?
It's LSW's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to, my point is, we need to make sure that as a city, we're not subsidizing for Victor. Or vice versa, really,
Or
honestly, it
our
could
fair
be,
share,
right, it's just,
agreed upon share.
yeah,
So
so.
what do you need from us?
I just want your guys' blessing to go forward with investigating so that it's not like. I'm personally doing it
Yeah.
and I'm stepping on toes, I don't want
Make
it.
a motion that I bless her.
That is what she's at work, so that is back by the.
I'll
Yeah, please. Yeah. I'll have my AI assistant.
That I make a motion, to investigate. I don't think that, I mean, good conversation is how we're all learning and all of us here know that
I'll-
everything we touch, we find different things that should be happening and not, so. I'll make a motion if that's to bless you.
All right, motion for Danell to keep
didn't-
investigating further.
Somebody
Nice
can
try,
write Kleenex,
dude.
my gosh.
I did,
You second that, Tim?
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? We're a blessed child.
Transparency in government.
Yeah.
motion.
All right, any other business that we haven't addressed?
oh,
Oh, what?
C280 was here,
No.
Oh.
How much,
280 came,
how much do we owe?
I know. They
That's
came
part of
and,
their,
Show me your plat.
so,
yes,
oh, I should go to Flex, well, you start talking about C280, I'm gonna go to Flex.
the,
Give flag
for the
to makeup.
Spit it out.
For the sidewalks, doing starting the sidewalks.
Starting the
situation.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did talk a little bit about the parking lots and,
Like, if we were to put one in there, the only place that they said possibly would be in the front because of the height of how far it is, and it's gotta be, to slope it down would be like that area where the sign is. And, they were gonna go out and look at it and see, but they did say that when they do a parking lot like that, that is where they usually put the handicap in front of them. And anywhere in this, it's by the building. So if we want, and that's the amount of handicap that is required for that size of the parking lot. If we would have wanted to add, we would have had to add that to that. So it's not just something that nobody thought of, and it's not required, basically. But they left and did the sidewalks, have you heard from them? Something.
No,
Okay.
they also looked at Grand River.
Oh, the Grand River, yeah.
He's gonna have Henry, is that right? Am I thinking of the right one? Henry?
Yeah.
Okay, I was Anderson Fisher, who I'm like, I don't remember. So Henry, he was gonna have Henry come and look at it just to see He said a lot of it is normal. You're gonna have some that washes away, but he was gonna have them come and look to see what the ratio is that stayed to the tar. So he was gonna have them look to see what they thought. We still do have a retainage too with it, so this is what
Retainage,
We haven't paid them.
we haven't paid them
Oh.
out, so
good.
FYI. That's
Um,
about it, and then they're working on the.
Yeah, it's just hard for people without a lot of experience to understand how that extended the usable life of that road.
He said it doesn't look too bad, like just think like looking, but he's like,
well,
he
he
wants to
didn't.
see, right, well, he wants to see what,
He wants the road guy to come in and actually
Yeah.
look at it, and he's the one who he can say, yeah, this is not what it's supposed to look like, or yeah, this is not.
Well, now the frost is out and it's all come back together. It's so much
Right.
better now. It's all okay. Well,
What else
when
you
it's
got?
opened up during freezing,
so I got
that's when the trouble is.
Tree City USA,
Nice.
that comes with a plaque, and every year we get a new one, so we're gonna take care of our trees. We have help
Stay
our environment,
a Tree City.
How do we earn another star every year?
have to report, do reporting, Dave's got.
Keep our trees alive.
Keep trees alive. Rick, I gotta take you, make sure. And then he gave us 2 signs.
That we
I like
put
that a lot.
into-
There's 2
You
of
go
them.
walking down Grand River with that?
There's
She's got a flag, she's got a flag too, but I mean.
Huge flag.
Nice.
Massive flag to put on a flagpole, like not just a little one.
All right, and then April
Yeah, we got-
24th is what now?
Well, April 7th or April 24th,
April 24th.
I signed a proclamation. For Arbor Day, and I am, gotta get with Jason, but I secured, the STEM class for, 8th grade to, plant a tree. In the park somewhere, so that'll be our big event that we can take pictures and. Yeah, April 24th.
April.
I also have,
Right.
I hope not, it'll be one class, so hopefully,
I think it's.
what?
I think
That's
we
what
plan,
I'm
we plan on the kayak launch.
Yeah, well, they have to walk, it's the 8th grade class, so,
Be a good.
So is that something you're wanting us at?
I mean, you can come if you want, but it's just with the class and they're gonna come plant a tree, but I
It would
just.
not be a bad photo op to have city council.
Yeah, have 1 or 2 or 3 year all.
Send us like.
We also,
PR.
Yes.
we also have, the new, pre-K. Teacher, she was, Miss Green, she reached out to me, she taught my, my youngest, and she go over pre-K and they're doing she's revamping the program, and she asked if their class could help. Something to do something in this, around the city, so the old pots, I asked if she wanted to maybe plant like 6 or so of the pots, and we could put them like at the amphitheater and by. So again, I gotta go hold Jason. That is to get lots of our business. They'll pay for that. But, they're gonna come do that the 21st. So all in that week, so they're gonna come plant, and then we'll have this STEM class come back.
Yeah.
But the STEM class is actually gonna do all of it, like they're gonna dig the hole, they're gonna do the whole shebang, so.
It's good.
I've got
Well, that'll go towards this for next year's. 2026.
just a quick here, a thought, DPW. Might we be doing better if they work 7 days and scatter the hours? We need somebody to check the bathrooms on weekends and empty trash and maybe even mow a lawn. You know, treat a Saturday as if it's Wednesday. We're gonna have what, six employees altogether, counting yourself?
Hopefully.
Uh,
Getting turned in apps, yeah.
but I think that would be up to us to decide that, or just
That would be
direct
definitely a budget
Dave if
thing.
we wish.
Or
I
it would
think-
be a budget.
I think that'd be the PBW committee. I mean, we can recommend to the committee, it's like, hey, maybe you should talk to Dave and figure out a scheduling and see if that's a possibility.
You're not recommending additional hours, just reallocating hours, so.
Just reallocating.
But yeah, it seems like that would fall on Dave to.
To schedule
to
that.
make-
Well, we all live here pretty much 7 days a week. As residents. Do we don't need anything on Saturday and Sunday, ever? Or it's just a reallocation and it seems to me that it would maybe behoove us to have that availability.
It's a level of service question, really. I mean, and that's what they talk a lot about in that asset management training is what level of service are you providing the taxpayers for their current amount that they're paying? And one of the disheartening parts of that training is, according to experts in the state of Michigan, it's impossible for a municipality to continue to fund its current level of service without raising taxes, not increase it, keep it where it is. But part of what they also talked about is managing perception of the level of service that you're providing your constituents, because right now, and look, perception is reality, and unfortunately,
In each individual's mind.
I ran into it twice this week where people are showing me photos of DPW employees and whether it's justified or not. It's like, this is what I'm paying. And I'm like,
Yeah, because they don't know what's going on in that moment. Maybe
they don't.
maybe they are on their 15-minute break, whatever it is, or maybe.
I would recommend not taking it in front of someone's house.
Well, I know, but just,
But
yeah,
no, look,
perception.
I understand that 100%, but that may be a way to manage that value. If people saw employees emptying the garbage on a Saturday morning, maybe you could do it as a morning shift. It wouldn't have to be an all-day event. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, though.
That'd be something that I would think they would have to play with. And
How it would impact your overall spend.
We do have, especially on weekends when there's events, we do have somebody that cleans the restrooms and that is the function.
But that's an extra expense.
But also, yeah, that's what I was just gonna
It is,
say.
yeah,
We don't want to spend extra money.
If it's scheduled, it shouldn't.
You're right.
right.
I mean, if it's
It's
an.
already budgeted. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
Instead of
if you've
working
got a
Monday
guy
to
that works
Saturday.
40 hours during the week and then you have him come in for 5 hours on the weekend and we've got to pay double and a half because of it. That's not what we're after. I don't want to increase cost, I want to increase service. And we need to, I constantly am beating the drum. That's the reason we're all here, is to provide a service to the taxpayer. And if we're not providing the services as they would expect us to, we're the bad guys.
It's gonna be hard to eventually ask for more if they already think they're overpaying for what they're doing. Right. And that's what something that, when we start to implement asset management in the city, we're gonna have to talk about is how do we communicate that so we can create, either correct the perception.
Yeah.
Or change the reality, one of the two. Because we are eventually gonna have to ask for more if people want a higher level of service.
Well, yes, because the head lead is,
It's,
it's,
yeah,
it's a real thing that has to be addressed sooner than later.
yeah, I'm doing that MSU responsible communities program right now on top of asset management, and they're not overly optimistic about what municipal funding is gonna look like moving forward.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have more money to do what we're currently doing. Right, so we're gonna have to get creative, and I think if it means asking the residents to chip in a little bit more, we have to be able to show them that they're getting something back for it, and it's tough, because you fix a sewer line, they don't see it.
Right.
And that's. the other
Anything
thing we
underground.
talk about. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
But the
in our
garbage
office.
piled up on the storm drain covers.
That said, I will add one quick thing. I did do that
Okay.
asset management program. I would not recommend anyone else. Because
You said you would.
no,
Good job, Jason.
no. During it, I found out that they're launching this month a
New one.
condensed version of it
Oh.
tailored for council.
Oh, did they get it finished?
Okay.
Awesome.
They said it's coming out this month. Instead of 25 hours, it's like 2.5 hours.
We're taking one for.
If anyone here would be interested, I can, I know you've got his info. I think it would be really valuable.
It is,
Yeah.
the long version was very valuable.
So you can get us,
Version would have been really.
get us information?
You did. Same.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, send that out to everybody just to.
Yeah, I'll have to get it.
Yeah, they were excited about it, because they're really excited about, I guess it's rare that they could get anyone from council to do it. It's mainly, well, and I actually nominated PK.
Yes.
Well, because that's part of it, but there's some really valuable concepts in there, and I think for CIP moving forward, we're talking about things like criticality and stuff like that. That hopefully they would cover in that 2.5 hours, so it's not like re. talk about it.
So it would behoove all of us to spend
Some, I would
2.5
think.
hours to get a clue about.
Pointed that.
It's, well, I think it's just a lot, I get it. We're all volunteering at a certain point, and everyone's busy, and I would not ever,
I'm used to $2 an hour,
yes,
so
yeah. Yeah, I'm salaried and
it's
well.
nothing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what time is it? Okay, so look into it. Does anybody have anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second, you're adjourned.
It's a long class to get that motion.
It was
On
on
your filming for my post that in me.
DoorDash?
Yeah,
For what?
Well,
it was great.
we got 2.5 hours.
It'll be
No,
amazing,
it's-
sir.
Snuck in early.
Yeah.
It can come tomorrow.
Um,
It'll be quiet here, it's just.
Yeah. When you walked out with that box,